we are going to start Unit 13 Sampling Methods of ABM. This is a very interesting chapter too, and in between I am also explaining about finding set score and finding probability from that set score. So we can start. We all know that statistics is a tool used in business and finance. Statistical methods to reduce risk, uncertainty and improve decision making skills. So we are using these statistical methods for all these improvements like risk reduction, uncertainty, etc. Decision making is collecting information using data for future strategy. So collecting data will help us to make a future strategy so that business will be successful. That's why we mainly use statistics. But for this we cannot use full size involved. So we have to take a sample and test it. This is because as the population becomes so large, we cannot check the data of the whole population for finding this future strategy. So we use statistics and we use sample, some sample from the population and test it. So for example, to test quality of milk in milk packets of a milk plant with the production of 1 lakh packets every day. So we cannot check the whole 1 lakh packets. So we have to check some samples from each batch. Thus we can arrive at the conclusion that milk packets are good for consumption or not. Another example is that of tea testers. Their job is to test tea from the whole plantation before auction. They will only test a small portion of the tea. So we can think the whole data collected as population and the portion used for testing the quality in the above example as sample. So that's difference between population and sample. The samples and population both have mean, median, mode and standard deviation. If the terms describe sample, then they are called statistic, and if these terms describe population, then they are called parameters. It's important. That is, a statistic is a characteristic of a sample. For sample, we represent size as n, mean as x bar and standard deviation as small s. For population, we represent size as capital N, mean as mu and standard deviation as sigma. Now we can move to types of sampling. First is non-random or judgment sampling. Sample selected from population based on someone's experience. All items will not have equal opportunity to be selected in non-random sampling. Judgment sample sometimes used as a pilot or trial sample to decide how to take a random sample later. So this is non-random sampling. Bias sample, if we selected data about some X issue from a population and the sample so selected is also related to the same X issue, the data will be biased and will not give the public opinion. So we go for random sampling. The word biased sample itself means the data will be biased. So it will represent only a small portion of the population. So we have to go for random sampling. 4 types of random sampling. First one is simple random sampling. Here, each sample have equal probability of being picked. Each item in entire population have equal chance of being picked. That is, for example, selecting 2 anchors for a show from 4 candidates A, B, C, D. Here, possible samples can be a number of samples is derived by 4Z2, that is 4 into 3 by 2 into 1 equal to 6 samples. So samples can be AB, AC, AD, BC, BD and CD. So probability of P of AB equal to P of AC equal to etc. equal to P of BD equal to P of CD is 1 by 6. So they have equal probability of being selected. Now the probability of a single candidate to be selected is half. That is P of A equal to P of B equal to P of C equal to P of D equal to 1 by 2. Since only 2 anchors will be selected, so the base will be 2 and one of them has a probability 1 by 2. That is equal probability. Next is systematic sampling. Each element has an equal chance of being selected, but each sample do not have an equal chance of being selected. That is systematic sampling. So a population has n number of samples. So all n number of samples will not be selected, but the elements of each sample has an equal chance of being selected. So it comes under random sampling. Elements are selected from the population at a uniform level, that is measured in time, order or space. For example, population has assigned name from 1 to 100 and a sample of each 10th element is chosen. So the sample will be 1, 11, 21, etc. 91 and the population is 1, 2, 3, etc. 100. So we can know what is systematic sample from this. Third one is stratified sampling. Here population divided into homogeneous groups called strata. Homogeneous means equal characteristic. The group having equal characteristic. We select random from each stratum. So here we can see from the picture, this is the whole population. G1, G2, G3, etc. are the groups, and inside the groups there are A1, A2, A3. So they have similar characteristic, and this group also B1, B2, B3 has similar characteristics, and so is G3. So we select randomly from all these groups A1, B2 and C1. So we form another sample. This is stratified random sample. So and this is known as strata, homogeneous group of strata. Here each element reflects the characteristic of its group. So A1 reflects the characteristic of G1, B2 reflects that of G2 and C1 reflects that of G3. This is stratified sampling. And the fourth one is cluster sampling. Here the entire population is divided into clusters, means small groups. Here each member will not have the same characteristic in a single sample. Here choose a random sample of these clusters. So then we choose random sample of these clusters. Assumption is that individual clusters is the representative of population as a whole. So we can see from here that each cluster will have different people having different characteristics. So it will definitely show the characteristic of the whole population, and for cluster sampling less cost than simple random sampling. This is a picture of cluster. This population is divided into cluster 1, cluster 2, 3, etc. 4, and we choose randomly one cluster as cluster 2 for analysis, which has similar characteristic of the entire population. Next is, in stratified sampling, each groups are similar but the wide variation between groups. In cluster sampling, each groups are similar but variation inside each group. Next is sampling distribution. Sampling distribution is the distribution of all possible values of statistics from all possible samples of a particular size drawn from the population. It is described mainly by mean and standard deviation. Standard deviation of the distribution of the sample mean is called standard error. So standard deviation, that is any deviation from the mean point, is the standard error, and here standard deviation is equal to standard error. Standard deviation is represented by sigma and mean by mu for population. In simple random sampling, sample mean is equal to population mean. For sample mean, mu x bar and standard deviation represented by sigma x bar. Sigma x bar standard deviation is equal to variance by root n, that is sigma by root n. Here mu x bar equal to mu, that is population mean and sample mean is equal. That is n, here n is a sample size. To find the probabilities between 0 and 1, we can use Z score, Z equal to 1 by sigma x bar minus mu. Here the value of probability is between 0 and 1 always. Finding probability from table, for example, P of Z equal to 0.3315 for minus 0.96 less than equal to Z less than equal to 0. Here this can be divided, and the next one is minus 0.96 less than Z less than or equal to 1.54. This can be split as minus 0.96 less than or equal to Z less than or equal to 0 plus, that is first minus 0.96 it's less than set less than 0 from 0 to 1.54, and we get minus 0.96 as 0.3315 from the set score table. And next one is 0.4382. Since these has opposite signs, we add these two to get the probability of set between minus 0.96 and 1.54 as 0.76. Next example is P of Z equal to 0.1067, and here the range is between minus 0.96 less than or equal to Z less than or equal to 1 minus 1.54. Here we split these as minus 0.96 less than equal to Z less than or equal to 0 and minus 1.54 less than or equal to Z less than or equal to 0. Here both have the same negative sign, so we subtract the larger smaller from the larger. So the larger one has probability for set score from the set scores table as 0.4382, and smaller one is 0.3315. We are subtracting smaller one from the largest to cancel the common area between the two. So for opposite sign, add the value, and for the same sign, subtract smaller from larger. So we get 0.1067. That is 0.4382 minus 0.3315. And probability has no negative sign because its value is between 0 and 1. Next is standard error of the mean for infinite population. So here sigma x bar equal to sigma by root 10 is the population standard deviation. Standard deviation is also known as standard error, as it is the deviation from the population mean in the sampling distribution. For our first example, a bank calculates its savings account as normally distributed with a mean of rupees 2000 and a standard deviation of rupees 600. If the bank takes a random sample of 100 accounts, what is the probability the sample mean is between rupees 1900 and 2050 rupees? So what this question means that the most of the account has a balance of 2000 rupees savings account, and there can be a deviation of 600. That is either it can be 2600 or minor, it can be between as less as 1400. So it is between 1400 and 2600, and here we are taking 100 accounts, so we have to find the probability that it is between 1900 and 2050. Sigma s bar equal to sigma by root 10 equal to, here we are given sigma is 600, mu is 2000 and n equal to 100. We get 60, standard error is 60 or standard deviation is 60. To find the probability, we have to find Z value or Z score, and Z equal to S bar minus mu by sigma S bar. Here mu is 2000. So put these values here. We get P of Z as minus 1.67 less than equal to Z less than equal to 0.83. So we have to split this into 2 as P of minus 1.67 less than equal to Z plus P of 0 less than equal to Z less than equal to 0.83, and we have to add these since these are of opposite signs, and we get the probability of 0.7492. That is the probability of sample to lies between 1900 rupees and 2050. So 74% of the accounts, that is out of 100 accounts, most of the accounts, 74% account has a balance of between 1900 and 2050. As sample size increases, sampling distribution of the mean will approach normality. Next is central limit theorem. Here we can use sample statistics to make inference about population parameter without knowing anything about the shape of the frequency distribution of that population. That is the Importance of central limit theorem. Normal distribution is used when sample size is less than 30. CLT states that the sampling distribution of the mean approaches normality as sample size increases, regardless the shape of the population distribution from which sample is selected. CLT is used when sample size of n or n greater than or equal to 30. Important, it's very important. That is, we have to distinguish from the question whether we have to use normal distribution or CLT from the value of n. If it is greater than 30, we have to use CLT, or if it is less than 30, we have to use normal distribution. And example, annual earnings of all tellers of a bank with 5 years of experience has a mean of 19,000 rupees. So all tellers will get 19,000 rupees as salary, and standard deviation of rupees 2000. So there can be a decrease or increase of 2000. If we take 30 tellers, what is the probability that average earnings of the teller will be more than 19,750? Here we use CLT, here given n equal to 30. So standard error is sigma by root n, that is 365 rupees. Sigma is 2000, n is 30 and mu is 19,000. Here z equal to s bar minus mu by sigma by root n. Therefore probability of z greater than probability of x bar greater than 19,750 is p of z greater than 19,750 minus mean, that is 19,000, by this standard error 365.16, and we get the value as 0.0202. that is 2% chance that every teller has probability of getting a salary more than 19,750. Here we can check how we got the value 0.0202. For that, we have to first draw the graph like this. So at set score 2.05, to the right of this, it is the value is greater than 19,750. So we have to find the probability that the earnings lies between this point and the greater than this point, that is this shaded region. So we get it like this: p of z greater than this point is represented by the set score 2.05. This value is 2.05. So we can rewrite it as 1 minus probability of z less than 2.05. We know that the total probability is 1. So this whole graph has a probability of 1. So if we subtract 2.05 from this, that is 1 minus this left side region of 19,000. This region has a probability of 0.5. So this region has a probability of 0.4798. So we will get the answer as 0.0202. In a sample of 25 observations from a normal distribution with a mean 98.6 and standard deviation 17.2, what is P of 92 less than S bar less than 102, and find probability given sample of 36. Here we have n equal to 25, mu equal to 19.6 and sigma is 17.2. Sigma x bar is the standard deviation equal to sigma by root n equal to 17.2 by root 25 is 3.44. So we have to find the answer of this. P of 92 less than s bar less than 102. Here we can write it as x bar 92 minus mu 98.6 by 3.44 less than z less than 102 minus 98.6 by 3.44. This we can write as P of minus 1.72 less than z less than 0.99. Friends, at the end of this video, I will show you the set score table also. You have to practice this more problems like this. It is very easy. So here you can see that one is negative sign, the other one is positive sign. So we have to add the two probabilities, and the value is derived, I got it from the set score table, and the answer is 0.7962. that is 79% probability of this number is between, h bar is between 92 and 102. Now at n equal to 36, the same answer here, sigma h bar is 2.87. So the all others are same. So we get the answer as 0.8703. Next question. Kamala, an auditor for a large credit card company, knows that on average the monthly balance of a given customer is 112 rupees. Standard deviation 56. That is, his monthly balance may vary as plus 56 or minus 56. If Kamala audits, she audits 50 accounts randomly. So what is the probability of monthly average less than 100 and the probability of monthly average between 100 and 130? Here n equal to 50, mu equal to 112 and sigma is 56. Sigma x bar is sigma by root 10, that is equal to 7.920. So first we have to find the probability of P of x bar less than 100 is given by P of z less than 100 minus 112 by 7.920, that is P of z less than minus 1.52. Now we have to draw the graph. This is the shaded region we have to find, that is P of z less than 1.52. So the whole probability is 1. So we have to reduce 0.5 and the value of 1.52, that is this region, that is 0.4357 is the value of this region, 1.52. So the whole region to be reduced from 1 to get this region, that is 1 minus this 0.5, this region 0.5 minus this region has a probability of 0.4357. That is the answer. 0.0643 is the answer of this. That is the account having balance less than 100. That 64% accounts will have monthly balance less than 100. Next is balance less between 100 and 130, and we can see here as P of minus 1.52 less than z less than 2.27, and from the table we get the answers as 0.4357 plus 0.4884. Here we have to add because it's opposite sign, and we come to know that 92% of accounts we selected has a monthly balance between 100 and 130 rupees. Next is finite population multiplier. This finite population multiplier is used to find standard deviation of standard error in case the population is infinite or finite population with replacement is taken. So we have to just multiply root n minus n by n minus 1 with the sigma by root n. Here n is the size of population and small n is the size of sample. Finite population multiplier is used to reduce the standard error. If sampling fraction n by capital N is less than 0.05, the finite population multiplier need not be used. It's very important while doing the problem. Where to use this finite population multiplier, root of n minus n by n minus 1 is only when it is greater than or equal to 0.05. This is a set score. So friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, please share, and also press the like button and also the bell icon. So friends, thank you.